Convicted felon Donald Trump gave a psychotic press conference yesterday in the Oval Office where he turned it into a flea market where he is schlepping his riffraff and knickknacks from the Resolute desk. And we have triple Trumper MAGA voters crying MAGA tears because they are just so shocked that they're getting fired from their jobs. And then, of course, we have the MAGA Congress that has cut $2 trillion in services and research for Americans, most of which are in need of this. And get a load of what they did immediately after passing this immoral, heartless, diabolical budget. Play the clip.
This time I ask the House to observe a moment of silence.
Members, staff, guests, please rise for a moment of silence.
All right, as you can see, as a person who grew up in the Bible Belt, I have found that this is the essence of evangelical Christianity and MAGA Christianity, where they do a lot of bad things or horrible, horrible things happen, and then just have a quick attaboy prayer, and then they move on. So it's the thoughts and prayer, performative religiosity on the House floor after they cut healthcare, medical care from the poorest Americans. Explain to me, like I'm 5 years old, how these people are big Christians.
Having grown up in the evangelical faith, I can tell you that there is a level of entitlement and narcissism, and that because you are an evangelical Christian, you are higher, superior, elite compared to others, and that you are able to judge others because you're special, you're unique. So I believe that these people do not see their hypocrisy because they believe they are above
Chosen.
other people, and they are chosen, and they are better than other people. So when they hurt other people, it's okay because they're better.
They're in God's favor.
They're in God's favor. And that runs all the way through. The judgment in Christianity is mind-boggling. And this is a perfect example of that.
Next up, we have my spirit animal, my favorite woman in the United States of America, and I'm talking about Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. Play the clip.
You could speak directly to Elon Musk, what would you say?
Fuck off.
That's it.
Yes, yes. This is the energy we need. I'm going to tell you something that I have absolutely had it with. I have had it with Democratic politicians and Democratic strategists saying the following things. These MAGA voters, they just felt abandoned. And so they just voted because they were trying to deal with inflation. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. They all saw January 6th. They all saw the crimes. They've all seen his press conferences. They've all seen his caps locks tweets. It's bigger than that. Quit trying to give them permission structures. Quit enabling their triple Trump vote. They voted for him because the cruelty is the point. Their default setting is racism, whether it's covert, overt, conscious, subconscious. That's what it is. We all know it. And they don't allow for any room for, oh, the Democrats vote this way because of X, Y, Z. And the Democrats, Trump played to his base and he won. The Democrats have got to learn the lesson. There is just a percentage of the electorate that is never, ever, ever going to vote for you. They're in a cult. And they pray after they take away health care and cancer research, Alzheimer's research, and Social Security from Americans. And they pray after they meet with their boss, Vladimir Putin. So quit trying to enable these voters. I have had it. Next up, Pumps, you'll love this. We have a triple Trumper MAGA tears post online. Jacob Manser says, I've been a proud Trump supporter for 3 elections, but now my business just got cut from our federal contract. This is bull. We're not some DEI quota filler. We do real hard work. We need to get in touch with someone ASAP to fix this mess. Like and share so the right people see this. And what I have to say about this is thoughts and prayers.
Right.
Thoughts and prayers to you.
good luck with your thoughts and prayers. What's interesting to me, twofold, on your point about the Democrats saying, well, it was inflation. It's not inflation, because now the inflation is exponentially increasing. And they are now flipped the script to say, oh, well, it's national security. It's necessary for national security. It's not inflation. It's racism. It's the patriarchy. It's homophobia. All the things you don't want to be, MAGA is in spades. And I don't think we can say it enough. They like the cruelty. The cruelty of Donald Trump hit them where they liked it.
And I think, Pumps, to your point, all of those points are true. They're willing to burn down democracy to own the libs, because they have fallen prey to a decades-long right-wing media propaganda campaign to get them mad at other Americans. It's not like, oh, we can agree to disagree. This is my Republican friend and we disagree, but we just disagree on tax policy or whatever. They have turned these what were fringe into mainstream, and they're willing to go pick a fight with Canada and the European Union to own the libs, but deeper than that, obviously, because I think they're all compromised by Vladimir Putin. All right, next up we have the commander-in-chief, convicted felon-in-chief, Donald Trump, sitting at the Oval. We'll have another episode this afternoon reviewing this totally psychotic presser in the Oval. But here he is selling his merch. And I want y'all to look at RFK Jr.'s face.
See that? Trump was right about everything. Just came in. Somebody said, this was sent in by a fan. I said, I think we should make some of them, right? But we were, pretty much. You want one?
I'll pass.
Are you allowed to take one? Because he'll consider it. I know him well. He's sort of a stiff. Yeah, Brian, you're not a stiff.
Before we comment on this, it's really important that we all band together, and it's important that you support independent news like ours, subscribe to our channel, but also support our sponsor. And one of our favorite sponsors are the ladies at Ground News. Ground News is where Pumps and I get our news every morning, because it shows you what the right is reporting, what the center is reporting, what the left is reporting. And listener, you have agency to educate yourself about facts. And as we head into the next 4 years, being informed about facts and media bias is the most important thing you can do.
What's great about Ground News is each article, they tell you, did a media conglomerate put this news out, or was it an independent media? And they also list the degree of factuality, which, interestingly enough, there are news sources, media conglomerates, that have mixed or low factuality. Independent media seems to have a higher factuality, but you get all that with your Ground News app.
So listener, join us by going to groundnews.com/IHIP to get 40% off the Ground News Vantage plan that Pumps and I use every single day. They are subscriber funded and female founded, much like us here at I've Had It Podcast. By subscribing, you're not only getting a tool we all need today, you're also supporting our work here on this YouTube channel and on our podcast. That's Ground, GROUND, news.com/IHIP. And we have pinned the link to purchase your subscription below, right in the YouTube comments, or if you're listening, in the show notes. Okay, back to the riffraff, knick-knack, white trash flea market going on in the Oval Office. And here's what I have to say. I noticed in 2016, if you voted for Trump, you were either a racist or a racist apologist. And then as we moved on, now you're either a Nazi or a Nazi apologist. And I want to add the following. You're either white trash or a white trash apologist, because what he's doing in the Oval is Jerry Springer, QVC, white trash bullshit. And who is that Lutnick sitting there laughing, knee slapping, like that's just hilarious that he's selling his little hats behind the Resolute desk. This is so humiliating. And everybody needs to understand that every morning there are some people around the world that wake up who celebrate this white trash behavior. And its name is Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un, Xi, and whoever's in charge of Iran. And I'm just telling you guys, This is the end for all of you big Constitution thumping patriots out there. You're burning it all to the ground. We are exceptional in face planting right now. We are exceptional. American exceptionalism is face planting. That's what's going on right now. Donald Trump is exceptional at burning everything he touches to the ground.
Absolutely. And he surrounds himself with people that want to burn everything to the ground. Interestingly enough, about the grifting, I would say how undignified and indecent and unethical it would be for a president of the United States to be grifting and earning money based on the office of the president. But we're so far past that. I mean, we're worried about illegality and people dying and diseases. But I looked at that and I saw the Gulf of America in the background. And I'm like, did he switch the name of the Gulf of America to grift? I mean, that's one thing I can see him actually planning out. I don't give him credit for much. But all of these things that he's grifting off of are the changes to the Gulf of America, red, white, and blue land, stupid shit like that. That's where he spends his time. And he lets his diabolical minions go at the heart of the American people, their health, their welfare, their needs.
Okay, next up. We have a convicted felon, a leader of the free world, which I don't think the United States is in the leadership position any longer, that retweeted the following, and it's Trump Gaza. And I want to show you guys some screen grabs from this video. First and foremost, this is horrifically sad. Gaza is the hallowed ground of massive human rights violations where hundreds of thousands of innocent civilians died. And so Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu and Jared Kushner think it would be a real fun thing to turn this into condos. So here's some screen grabs. Here he is with Benjamin Netanyahu laying out on the beach drinking Mai Tais. And then the next image, okay, this is wild. For those of you listening that can't see on YouTube, it is a super duper tall solid gold statue of Donald Trump where he's been thinned down and has better posture. And I don't know, I'm old enough to remember. Do you remember when the United States invaded Iraq? And yes, listener, I know it was the wrong country and during the Bush administration, but they had all those statues of Saddam Hussein and we pulled them down because it was like fascist, authoritarian, and anyway, I remember the soldiers and the Iraqis like pulling it down. So he has this in the middle of Gaza. The next slide is him dancing with some woman on some dance floor with gaudy chandeliers. And then, of course, Elon Musk throwing money on the beach, just having a great time. And then here's the most curious one.
This is curious.
So we have dancing on the beach in Trump's Gaza, his imagined Gaza. We have trans belly dancers, which I'm fine with it. I don't take issue with it. But this is a man whose entire campaign, like the big bulk of it was anti-trans, that all of these, when he wasn't talking about eating cats and dogs, it was this very, very, very less than 1% of the population are coming to kill and torture you. So in his reimagined Gaza on Truth Social, he has trans belly dancers entertaining everyone.
I thought that was interesting too, of all the things to put on there. None of this surprises me about Trump. Here's the thing. I was surprised in the original image in his bathing suit that he wasn't more slimmed down, but that's not the point. But what I cannot believe is that the president of the United States of America has said out loud, we don't want these people to come back. They shouldn't want to come back because we're going to build condos. And in any other world, that would be ethnic cleansing. And he doesn't care. And nobody in his party and very few Democrats that I've heard are calling him out on the displacement of people. He's trying to strong arm other Arab leaders to take these people as refugees. When asked if the United States was going to take some, of course not, because they're brown. It is unbelievable to me that people are not up in arms about this, and all of his Republican enablers are just letting it go. Your big, fat national security democracies of the world, they are silent.
Well, and I think the thing about why aren't people up in arms over this? Why aren't people up in arms over that one? Because the flood the zone strategy has been effective. And what he did yesterday with that press conference and with this retweet of this Trump Gaza is to bump the budget bill that was passed from the top of the news cycle to the bottom. So he throws out these, more clickbaity type things to get everybody to talk about. But at the end of the day, listener, I'm going to leave you all with this. This is the end of American leadership, America trying to be an example for democracy. This is the end. We are in late stage capitalism where we have for decades been taught to value profit over human beings. And that started before Trump. That started way before Trump. And this is the manifestation of that moral shortcoming. And this is the impact of it. This is what happens when you don't give a shit when kids get shot in school, when you don't give a shit if people die because they can't afford health care because you value money, 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 money. Donald Trump is the consequences of decades of American voters' failure in valuing human beings over profit. That's a real uplifting thing. Hey, listen, we have a new ambitious goal. We want to get to 1 million subscribers on YouTube. We know it's really ambitious for two middle-aged women from Oklahoma City, but please make sure you hit subscribe to our YouTube channel because you know what? We got to have goals in Trump's America.
That's right.
All right. See you all later.